you know that the Buffalo Bills quarterbacks have more rushing touchdowns than LaShawn McCoy?
That's absolutely true.
By 4.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's not even close. Isn't that terrifying?
I wasn't kidding. I sent my resume in.
To One Bills Drive?
Yeah. Well, like, you don't have to pay me that much.
I'll take league minimum.
Seriously, I got weekends free. My weekends are free.
Pretty rough, dude. Pretty rough.
It'll take me 7 hours to learn Daboll's playbook.
That's assuming it's not drawn in crayon.
I'll take this off now because that was kind of funny. My son's hat.
I assumed it was your son's and not yours.
Well, I could look at me.
I don't think anybody would say anything to you if you wore that hat. Sometimes.
That's the funniest thing about being 6'5", 250 pounds. I could wear like a lot of stuff that no one would be like, okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, people say, like, oh yeah, he pulls that off. Well, you don't, just nobody will tell you.
Oh yeah, no one will say anything.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't care. I have zero shame.
I want to talk about the pass rush today from the Buffalo Bills. I want to talk about the 4-man pass rush. Are you ready?
I thought this would have been a signal that I didn't see it.
It bothered me.
I think, because we have talked about the interior line of the Buffalo Bills. You're not going to run on the interior. Could you run on the edges? Yeah, every once in a while. You're missing Murphy.
Didn't even try again.
No.
Another team that just, again, didn't even try to run inside.
You got Murphy out, so you got Lawson in there for Murphy. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear Hughes' name very long. And there were some holding calls that didn't call. I mean, aside from that, But they did, the 4, they were trying to put more people in coverage, I guess, to try to deal with Gabriel, Miller, and Burton. I think they were trying to do that. Maybe trying to keep the defense the same of when Edmonds does come back. Because, and it was eerily familiar to the Colts game, how this offense was being attacked. So they were giving Mitchell Trubisky the same kind of respect they gave Andrew Luck.
Yep.
Which is odd, if you think about it.
Agreed.
But I didn't understand why they weren't bringing more pressure, and it was
the easiest way.
It was obvious when they were.
The easiest way to cover up Stafford in the middle of the defense is to blitz him, right? That's the easiest thing. You're worried about him in coverage. The middle linebacker that had to play for Edmonds today, just blitz him. Yeah. Let Milano take care of that.
Milano's going to take care of Burton.
Yeah, that's what you have to do, right? Why?
Yeah.
If you're concerned about
takes
him,
Cohen?
It's a numbers game, dude. It's a numbers game. Yeah. Just don't worry about it.
Because Howard and Cohen can both catch the ball. I mean, that was the tough part about it.
Yep.
But does that worry you, the fact that they didn't change the defensive philosophy when Edmonds was out?
I was surprised that we didn't see them re-sign Tanner Vallejo because he played middle in the preseason.
He did.
I was a little surprised
they acquired,
to not make it any. I'm surprised they didn't grab somebody knowing that Edmonds was going to be.
Well, maybe they were just this.
Is this a product of them saying, you know what,
we're done?
Winning's not all that critical right now.
Let's see how this kid performs in the middle if Edmonds goes down.
But that was
we're not going to change anything.
But that was my problem with
it. Well, now they've evaluated him. Well, now they know they have to move on.
Well, and he had to play the whole game. Who was gonna play the middle if he went down?
You put Alexander in there?
That's what I mean.
You put Milano? Do you put Hyde? Like, who's left? I don't even know.
Is Ramon Humber still on the team? Yeah.
Get out.
No, I'm just saying. No. I'm not saying Humber at middle. I'm saying you shift Milano to inside. You shift Milano to middle. You put Humber back at weak side.
We've been friends a long time. This man.
This man right now?
No. Humber. I'm not a fan of Humber.
Is he even still on the team?
I don't know. He could be. It's a healthy scratch.
No pass rush.
None.
You can't win in the NFL with a 4-man pass rush that can't get home. And it's not like they don't have enough money invested in that front four.
But the thing is, you think
They got
about it
tons
this
of
way.
money invested in the
All
front.
right, wait. Let's try to take a positive out of this. Let's see if we can. See if we can derive a positive out of this. Front four, you're not going to run up the middle on them. Okay.
Yeah.
When Edmonds is in there, I'm just saying, when Edmonds is in there, if they happen to run off tackle, Milano and Edmonds can get there.
Yep.
Okay, so you got that locked down.
Yep.
We rush 4 because we need help in the secondary. Not where White is,
No.
where Gaines is.
Gaines did not play well today.
He did not. Okay, but then that's why you put Hyde or Poyer on top of him. Okay? But you can't cover everything. So is the philosophy of this defense to be basic enough that teams will try to attack it, and if they fail, they're going to say to themselves, listen, they're not doing anything exotic and we can't beat them. What do we do? So they only rush 4. Hopefully, because the more and more we keep talking about this team, this defense, and we'll get to the offense later, it just seems like everyone on this team is auditioning for next year. And they're not even concerned about winning at all. That sounds silly. You're an NFL team. These careers are short.
Yeah.
The contracts get bigger. The guys that you sign get bigger the next year. I'm just wondering if this whole thing is a audition for next year. All right, can this guy get a consistent push if we don't blitz? Can this guy beat a double team in game against this guy? You got to think too. That Bears line is pretty nice. That Bears line was pretty nice. So I don't know. It just seems like if you take the angle of looking at this team as a lot of teams, they don't even care about winning. The whole scope of looking at this Bills team changes if you think of that, which is awful if you're a fan.
Yeah,
but
absolutely it is.
It's just one of those. I don't know, but if it's confusing if you come at it at the fact that they're trying to win now. It confuses you what they do.
Yeah.
But if you think about it as they're not trying to win now, they're trying to get a high draft pick to get their own guys in there and get them into their program, and that's their process, then it doesn't shock me the things that they're doing. It really doesn't. You didn't address the wide receiver scenario. Why? We have a 3-year plan. We got a 5-year plan. In 5 years, we're going to be good because we're going to get all these pieces in place. Whoever's playing right now probably won't make the team.
It scares
Why
me.
invest money now for a guy that's not going to be there in 4 years?
It scares me because what they're doing is very reminiscent of what the Browns just did, right? Tons of draft picks. Let's just get draft capital.
They did.
And then now let's spend all this money in free agency. They went crazy this year.
And fire your OC and head coach.
And then have to fire your OC and head coach 8 weeks into the season.
Are we taking that path?
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what it felt like. Like we looked at it as an organization and said,
Ladies and gentlemen, head coach Leslie Frazier.
Oh no.
I wouldn't mind him. I like Leslie.
You really think they're going to hire another DC as a head coach?
Well, Williams,
Isn't that the problem?
Williams is in Cleveland.
Yeah, I get that. They weren't smart enough to figure that out either.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I like about it. Now, it could be skewed because of Peyton Manning, and I'll tell you why. Leslie Frazier learned under Dungy.
Yeah.
Dungy's a defensive coach.
Yes.
Played with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was his mentality. That was his philosophy. He ended up having Leslie Frazier work under him. Was criticized in Tampa Bay for not focusing enough on the offense.
Yep.
Okay? That's what cost him his job.
Yep,
Gruden
sure
goes
was.
there, wins the Super Bowl. But then he goes to Indianapolis, wins the Super Bowl.
Sure does.
But he had Peyton Manning.
Yep.
So he knew that he had to get either an OC or a quarterback in place there to be successful.
Bruce Arians, same thing. Arians was no dummy. As soon as Carson Palmer hung it up, so did Arians. He knew he wasn't going to be playing the quarterback game anymore. Arians loved veteran QBs. He loved veteran players.
Coming
he
at it
knew
from
what he needed to be
that
successful.
standpoint, too. He didn't care. I'll beat you 35-34. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just hold them once or twice. I don't even care.
Yeah, Arians did that.
I'll put up points. The defensive coach says, "Listen, we have to hold on to the ball," and they can't even do that.
Nope.
So, we just went down a really crooked road right there with all these coaches and stuff. But I'm just saying, from the standpoint of Frazier, even though he wasn't successful in Minnesota, I think he gets it. If he ever got another shot, he knows he has to put somebody in place on that offensive side of the ball that knows what they're doing, because he has to be an overseer. And I think McDermott tends to lean more toward the defense. I don't know how much of his input is on the offense. I think he just lets Daboll run with it, and that's why it's so unbelievably atrocious.
Well, I hope that this was a learning experience not only for, the players, but also for McDermott, because this can't go on. He can't. He won't get another season of this.
No, I don't.
He won't get another season.
He can't. He can't. No. Now, we don't even know how to evaluate McDermott as a coach, because he's never been in a tight game.
No.
For clock management, what to make in a decision.
I remember some pretty questionable calls last season from a clock management standpoint when they were in close games with Tyrod. There were some things that bothered me that he did. But again, this has been a team that either blows out or gets blown out. That's it. That's sort of the reputation that they've built for themselves, and if we're sitting at week 8 next year and the Bills are 2-6, I don't know what's going to happen.
How do you evaluate this team? Realistically, the defense gave up 17 points. The offense gave up 14. What? No, I mean, it was more than 17, but the short fields and everything, it was just ridiculous.
It was a lot to ask that defense to have to defend the end zone from 20 yards out on first down.
Was this overtime in college?
I know. That's it. Right? The Bears, if you told me the Bears were going to be held to 12 first downs all game, you would think that they'd lose, but they didn't need first downs.
That's why I said it was eerily reminiscent of the Colts game.
Yeah, very same thing. Now they had more than 12 first downs, but my point remains that
where do we go?
What do we do from here? I don't know. But it was said in the post game in the live chat, this is what you get when you have a defensive head coach, and I'm
ding ding ding.
I think that's really on point. That's really on point.